Hi, Carei Thomas. How are you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good.
You've got something on your mind. It's been in your body, in your fingers, in your musical world for decades now. Triade. Tell us about
Yes.
Triade.
Ah, 1986, Andrew Riverside Church in the west, on the east bank, right a few streets north of the University of Minnesota. Weekend they had a thing called Toad Hall. We'd all get together and do things. There'd be everything from madrigals to oratorical singing. And also there would be groups that would play music, piano trios, etc., an oboe and a guitar. There was always this strain of what I called Minnesota near the West Bank in it. So there was always this kind of collaborative go on. So Gary had mentioned, Gary Schulte, violinist, had mentioned that we might be able to have some fun doing something there on the weekend at Toad Hall. So I said, okay, let's go for that. And so we went over there. And this day, he had suggested to Louis Alamayo, a poet, would he join us and do something? And he said yes. And also he mentioned it might be interesting, there's a cellist by the name of Michelle Kinney. It might be fun to do something with her. So she was there. So we got started and we played and it came together so nicely. And it also was the inception of my idea, one of my ideas called Brief Realities. In the Brief Realities are initially an idea of giving something back to the environment, the folks in the environment and the universe, and that spirit energy that connects these things. So that's kind of a long-winded kind of way of describing how we kind of got together. We played that night and we later said, wow, let's do this again. And from then on we started working on it.
It seems to be not so much a chamber music trio as an ecosystem.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Well, it seems a lot of your music, as you are as a person, is very kind of inclusive.
Yeah.
And you welcome creative inputs from other people.
I need it. yeah. That's true. That's true. Because I see around me and I feel around me all these wonderful elements that have made me keep wanting to make more and give more, so it's been kind of like that, yeah.
So these are three impressive chamber musicians who also have improvisatory blood in them.
Oh, yes.
But it's also the longest piece of music I've heard of yours without you speaking.
Oh, that's right. I guess, yeah, that wasn't in the plan. And I say that wasn't the plan only because the destination and the journey are one. And when we started, it just went that way. It was kind of, yeah.
And how did you arrive at that point in your musical thinking where you could say to two of your friends, let's just show up and perform? Do you have a whole bag of tricks, compositionally speaking, that you kind of rely on? Or because
yes.
You're all about adaptation.
That's right, yeah. Well, this Brief Realities kind of thing, we toy a little bit with it. On the West Bank, I do some things with Steve Kimmel and where there would be a little slivers or a little connective tissue of music lines and phrases that would be kind of exchanged as a way to keep things going. And we'd leave away and come back and jump around, and that kind of gave us, wow, if we can do this, then let's just do that. And we began to just have the faith, like like some of them hippies were saying in them days, have the faith, and we do that, and that's how it would kind of come about. That's what Charlie Parker was saying. That's what Coltrane was saying. That's what a lot of beautiful musicians, Weber and JSV, all of them, I feel, was saying,
You have an impressive record collection in your mind. You reference all kinds of musical and artistic history. Does that concern you when you're making stuff from scratch, or does it just kind of simmer on the back there as it boils away and the rest comes out of your body and your mind?
Wow. You said it. Who are you, me or you? That's the kind of what it is. I always hope that. This is the first time I've done any interview kind of thing, so I was like on the edge of, oh no, what am I going to say? I said, stop that. Don't do that kind of thing. Because it gets in the way of where I've lived, who I am, when I live, why I am. It gets in the way of breathing in, breathing out, and all those things that make us shout, hallelujah. Yeah. So it's kind of like I'm so thankful that I grew up in this old Funny Hill District place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in a culture that was so ethnically rich with people during the World War II that had come from the Slavic countries and folks from down at the West Indian area of my black culture and just Jewish people and Italian, just all that. And we all in the morning would say, good morning, Mr. So-and-so. Good evening, Mr. So-and-so. I'm on my way to the store. Do you want me to pick you up something? And it was always going on. It was way back before Twitter. Twitter ain't bad, but it was a little bit going on that allowed you to kind of disseminate the information a slightly slower little way. And then move on to the next thing, you know. I hope that answers whatever it was.
It's almost like a quintessentially American kind of chamber music you've come across.
Oh, thank you. And another part of me is afraid to put some tie. That's it too. This is the first time I think I've said this. I'm afraid to call it. I don't want to call it. I guess I'll let people call it. I don't want to call it. I guess that's what I've been thinking. I've been thinking that kind of internally, but I don't want to call it. I've tried, it's a little improvisational. Then being African American, I want to make sure it's good. I don't want nobody to be thinking our stuff is different, and, you know. So I've been kind of, but that's it. Just let people call it. But enjoy it. Because when they enjoy it, hopefully they enjoy themselves.